We're here with Dogfish Tackle. This is our Dogfish 7'2" medium action 20 to 50 pound class Blue Water Series rod. By far one of my favorite rods in the store for guys that are running offshore. If you have an offshore boat or a bay boat and you plan on doing any offshore fishing and you're going to be using spinners, this is a very big key to your success in offshore fishing. We've modeled this rod off of several popular rods that people use day in and day out, but we've fixed quite a few things. For one, we fixed some of the bulkiness that you see here in the rear of the rod. So we've definitely been able to streamline this blank down and still give you all of the power that you want. We've done double-footed guides all the way up and down the entire blank. So guys that are using braided line, you know, throwing top shots on there, whether you're tying an FG knot, you're tying a bobbin knot, you're tying a uni to uni, an Albright, Slim Beauty, whatever it is that you're tying, you're not having to worry about it blowing out the inserts of your guides. You're not having to hear it knocking constantly going in and out, and you're not affecting overall performance. Although I will recommend, if you are going offshore, you should definitely be tying a bobbin or an FG knot, but that's either hide nor hair. Let's get back into this rod. One of the most versatile rods in our lineup. We keep using the word versatile because we want your dollar to get stretched farther. We want you to have the most bang for your buck. So one thing that we've really focused on with this rod is designing it in the offshore market. That's why it's the Blue Water Series. This is rated for an 8, 10,000, 14,000 series reels. Companies, if you're out there listening, quit making 3 reels that are all the exact same size and confusing everybody underneath the sun. That's also not relevant either, but this is made for an 8, a 10, or a 14,000 series reel. You can get a little bit bigger depending on what company that you're using, but that's typically what we're putting on here. 50-pound braid. And what's great about this rod is it's one of those rods you can use if we're running offshore. You want to do a little bit of vertical jigging, but you're not too deep into vertical jigging that you want to have one whole rod and reel that's solely dedicated to jigging, and you don't want to get one that's specifically designed for vertical jigging. You could still get away with doing it. We've done it plenty of times with these rods. They're great for using 4-ounce bucktails, bouncing them off the bottom, using butterfly jigs. It's definitely not going to be a slow pitch rod by any stretch, but your high speed stuff, by all means, feel free. I mean, use it for doing that. Pitch baiting, it's great. You know, if you're not focusing on you know, any one fish, you know, in general, this is a great rod to be cruising up and down weed lines or pulling up on something that's floating and using it as a pitch bait rod. We also want you to be able to put it in a rod holder, let Rodney do his job, catch some fish in the back while you're, you know, free lining a bait out the back. We want you to be able to knock a rig for those bigger snappers and amberjack as they're higher up in the water column. A lot of people, you know, constantly want to go straight to the bottom. One thing that we found is, you know, when we're snapper fishing, we like to knock a rig because, you know, we'll get those bigger fish that are higher in the water column that when you're typically bottom fishing, you're dropping and firing right past them. So we've made this rod really great for doing that as well. It's a great rod for being able to do that. And once again, you get that nice fast action, you get that light tip that you want in it. It's a very good parabolic bending rod, but you can literally pull on this rod until your ears bleed and not break it as long as you don't high stick it. And that's one thing that we wanted to really focus on with this rod, is getting a rod that gives a guy versatility. This rod is, like I said, one of the best rods in the store. I write about stuff like this all the time, but I would say by far, if I was, you know, to choose 3 rods, you know, and I was stuck on an island and I only had one rod, there'd be 3 of them that I'd have to go back and forth and bite my fingernails over and over before I picked one, and this would be one of those rods. Once again, this is a 7'2" medium action rod. We do double-footed guides all the way up and down the blank, Fuji double locking reel seat, rubber gimbal, locking gimbal as well. Feel free, if you have any questions, reach out to us, 727-393-2102. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have lots of educational videos out there for fishing, as well as all of the information you need to purchase any of our rods. And feel free, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Hope this video helped you. Thanks for watching.